All right, we are live, everybody. Welcome to MCHS, the Nook 111 live stream. I'm your host, Brent Edwards, and today we will be discussing class electives for the Career and Technical Education Department, also known as CTE. We have a full panel of guests, as you can see today, including Building Principal Dr. Swimke, Assistant Principal at South Campus, Ms. Solomon, CTE Department Chair, Mr. Calder, and the CTE Department Teachers, Ms. North. Can we have somebody calm that down over there, all that talking out in the back? Just kidding. Ms. Wilkie, Mr. Bontrager, and Mr. Gork. And as always, we will try our best to fit in some of the questions from you. So please feel free to submit those in the Facebook post, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. So let's get started. Miss Wilkie, did you actually see yourself in that beginning? Wait, you're on mute. Is everyone on mute?
I did see myself, and I almost wore that sweater today.
That would have been fun.
I think I did it.
Dr. Swimke said we all look like the Brady Bunch, so I'm gonna move us around here a little bit. But let's get started here. Again, this is the class elective educational session, if you will, for CTE, also known as Career and Technical Education. Mr. Calder, let's start with you real quick. Let me get you right here. Question is this: we'll get into the class specifics in just a little bit, but with the department and with the department teachers. But if a parent or a group of students were to ask you, "Hey, Mr. Calder, what is CTE all about, and what makes it unique?" What would you say?
I think for a lot of kids, remember being young, sitting and going, why am I sitting in this algebra class, or why am I sitting in this science class? Our classes, I think, kind of help make all that make sense. Kind of provide some of the so what for those other content areas. I think it's fun to see kids being able to apply those concepts in our classes. So we're fun. I mean, we're super hands-on in all of our classes. The classes are driven by student interest, so usually the kids who take these classes are more engaged because it's their choice, if whether or not they're interested in construction or agriculture or culinary arts or fashion design or business. It allows kids to explore what they think they might want to do later on in life, and be able to get a lot of different samples from those classes.
Sounds like quite a robust program that you have there, so it's something to be really proud about. It's great.
Yeah.
Miss Wilkie, let's start with you real quick. So, you're on the family and consumer science side of things. Let's say a student has spent a lot of time with the grandparents, sewing, baking, cooking, all that kind of stuff. They just really love it. What kind of classes can they find at MCHS that will continue to feed that spirit and learn more of the craft?
Well, the biggest question that usually gets asked to myself and other family consumer science teachers is, what the heck is that anyway? So I'd like to just start out by telling you guys what family consumer sciences is. So it is a complex study of science and art and how to take your soft skills and your hard skills and live a great, fulfilling life, both at home and in the workforce. So we take and we put together all those things. The classes that we teach here and how we get you to that point at our entry level, like Foods 1 and Foods 2, child development, adult living, we do more of self-care, things like simple meal prep, taking care of children, picking out clothes and how to take care of them, how to take care of your paycheck, what's going to be on your paycheck, those types of things. And throughout all those classes, we're also teaching communication, we're teaching time management, we're teaching group work, and that's what employers are actually looking for in the workforce. So those are the soft skills we teach. We also teach specific skills once you get into the upper level classes like culinary arts and the intro to teaching profession. They are very specific skills that allow a student to enter the workforce right after high school if they want to. They could also keep going and train vocationally or even at a four-year university. So FACS is a lot more than just cooking and crafts. We are giving students opportunities to live a great and fulfilling life at home and in the workforce later on.
Nice. Well done. So let's move on here then to Mr. Bontrager. Mr. Bontrager, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing very well. Good, thank you.
You're on the business, computers, and video editing side of CTE, among others. If a student is a gamer and he loves to play video games, but also likes to direct movies and make videos with his buddies, what kind of classes can they find at MCHS and help them continue to grow into the computer and video realm?
Excellent question. Thank you so much, Brent, for having us do this. I'm super excited that students who are able to come to Minooka Community High School have so many options, right, in their course selections. And certainly the business and computer science and media communications areas incorporate a lot of different options for students. So I'm basically discussing three separate little areas of CTE. Within the business side, we have classes such as accounting. We have accounting 1 and accounting 2, and even an accounting 3 level class, which could actually be taken, that accounting 3 class, as dual credit at Joliet Junior College, and they can earn 3 credits there while they're still in high school. That's a great opportunity for our students who are looking towards that field of accounting. We also have, we kind of start out available for all students at all grade levels, an introduction to business class. This kind of lays the groundwork for the business world, what's included, and the basic concepts of starting a business and what it takes to run a business. We also have classes for sports and entertainment marketing at the freshman through senior level. That class will cover all of the idea of being a marketer and selling product and selling different items for your business. We have a business law class offered for sophomores through seniors. It talks about the actual laws of business. And we also have a class called personal financial management. In that class, offered through sophomores through seniors, with successful completion of that class, it does satisfy the consumer education credit, which is a requirement for graduation from Minooka Community High School. So that personal financial management class is a very popular one because as a sophomore, then they could have that graduation credit completed instead of having to wait to take it your junior or senior year. So that's kind of the business classes we offer. The computer science courses, which are very popular, obviously, they're all hands-on. You're literally sitting in a computer lab, every student on their own computer. Classes like Google applications, both levels 1 and 2. Students can learn all of those Google apps. We have graphic design, again, freshman through senior level. Designing graphics and animations, like that. We have your basic introduction to computer applications, and that covers a wide variety of all the different applications that students use at our high school. So it's a really good course for students that are coming into our high school and learning all the different applications you're going to need to use while here in high school, but then obviously you'll carry those on into your future. So we've also got Microsoft certification courses, mobile apps development, where students can actually learn to create applications for their mobile devices, and also web page design. That kind of wraps up the computer science portion of CTE. The last portion is that oversees media communications, right? So media is a huge part of our lives, obviously, and being able to learn, we watch, videos all the time, right, through television and movies. We have a class called Video Editing 1 and Video Editing 2 that allows students the ability to learn how to actually produce their own movies, produce their own little commercials, little short videos, or sometimes longer videos that they will be able to put together themselves. That's all done through video editing. And we also have a TV class. MCTV is the name of our productions class, where they actually learn all the different roles that go into making an actual broadcast happen. They get a chance to go out and do a lot of filming and recording and producing it and then releasing it out to the public as they can. So that wraps up the CTE portion of business and computer science, along with video editing.
Hey, Mr. Bontrager, you got a shout out while you were talking.
Uh-oh, Haley Hipner.
You got two former students saying that they, Kaylee and Gabe, took your film class and now they've made careers on YouTube. So thank you.
Awesome to hear that feedback. I've had a lot of students over the years that have made some really, really impressive life decisions. You know, some students that have gone on to, work for major companies and corporations doing video and media work. So it's good to hear that feedback. Thanks, Kaylee.
That's awesome. And then in your business class, do you work out contracts with them? If they make a lot more money than us, they have to give some of it back to MCHS. Is that the deal?
There's usually a very small clause in the agreement that, yes, they.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't know. We don't have our attorney present with us, but I don't exactly know what you worked out. So.
No, we haven't worked anything out.
All right. It's all handshakes out here in the Nook. I like it.
Right.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bontrager, for all that information. Well said. Let's move on to Mrs. North. Ms. North, you're the agriculture and vet sciences side of things of CTE, but also you teach robotics and other tech programs. A couple things real quick here. If let me move this over here. If we know there's more to agriculture than just seeing tractors in the fields, and with robotics, will these students be able to build robots, or talk a little bit about your side of the CTE program?
Okay, I'd be happy to. First off, agriculture is not just tractors, cows, and plows, as we jokingly get referred to. It is actually the #1 industry in the United States, employing 1 in 4 Americans right now. People forget about all the different aspects of it. It's just not growing the stuff, but it's moving it, producing it, grading it. There's meat, butchers are part of it, truckers, etc. So it's a huge industry, and we try to cover some of it. We can't cover it all. We do offer animal science, a 4-year program in that, where students can learn everything, not everything, but quite a bit about animals. We look at both the companion animals, livestock, production animals. There is a junior, senior level course for vet science where students learn how to handle animals, how to control them. I believe there's a certification program for it, and they just look at the genetics, the behavior, things like that. So we have 4 years in that, looking at dogs, cats, hamsters, mice, gerbils, you name it. The kids learn about critters in those classes. We also have a full-size greenhouse up at the central campus, and we offer a course that's dual credit for JJC with our horticulture investigations. That's open for our juniors and seniors to get the dual credit. And there we've spent time in the classroom learning about greenhouses and plant production, but then we go out in the greenhouse and actually work out there. This past fall, we had a beautiful poinsettia crop. Right now, the kids have been working on producing, propagating plants and getting things ready for a spring bedding plant sale. So we're really excited about that. Very hands-on, very interactive. The kids get to actually work in it and learn what it's like, and we've had several students go on to JJC to take some of the horticulture classes there. We also offer a greenhouse management course and a floral design course, Floral 1 and Floral 2. In the floral classes, students learn how to make everything from corsages to bouquets, large arrangements for things such as even a funeral. And many of the kids will even make their own flowers for special occasions, such as maybe a birthday, a holiday, or prom and homecoming. Now, you did mention I do teach a few other things. I seem to teach a lot of different things. I love it. That's what makes my life so fun. And that's typical of most ag teachers. We don't teach just one thing. We kind of dabble in a lot of things. And I do teach our electricity course. That course works for both our industrial tech end and for agriculture because it's a part of pretty much a part of everything. And in that class, we learn about both electronics, and then what I call hard wiring or residential wiring and commercial wiring. And then we get into robotics. That's my favorite class, I think, to teach. Yes, we build robots. The kids start with some smaller ones, just learning the basics of programming, eventually building them. And then we have a very large robot called Vex, which we have even competed with occasionally. And these are robots where they're learning how to pick things up and use them. These are skills that are used on many farms. You go to most dairy farms now, they don't have to worry about milking the cows twice a day. These are automated and usually run through with some type of robotics doing them. So robotics is a huge part of not just agriculture, but everyday life nowadays. One other extension on our ag program is the FFA organization. This is the Agriculture Youth Club. It is the largest youth group in the United States. And these students get to participate in various what they call career development events. In fact, they're starting one today, the Vet Science one. They've been able to set this up to do some of them virtually this year. And the students are working on doing, for this one's Vet Science, but they do ag sales and marketing, livestock judging, milk judging and grading, meat judging where they actually grade it, crop judging. There are so many different ones. There's some in horticulture, soil, you name it. There's a career development activity for it. It also gives students an opportunity to learn leadership skills as they work in public speaking and parliamentary procedure. So can't leave out our FFA as part of our agriculture program.
I mean, it's just, there's so much going on. I was just thinking as you're talking, like, well, that's crazy because when will a student find time for math, English, and all the other stuff with all these great electives that they have at their disposal? Also, I just want to remind everyone who's out there watching right now, just go ahead and if you have questions, fill them in your Facebook posts, and we'll try to get to them as we can. And also, we created a CTE program highlight video that is posted on the CTE website or webpage on our website as well. So you can go there and see some highlights of the classes they're discussing. All right, Mr. Groark, let's move on to you real quick. Get you right here. Where are you? There you go. I'm doing it on the fly. So industrial technology side of things. So if a student is great at math, but loves to build things as well, and also tries to find ways to make processes work more efficiently, what kind of classes does your side of the CTE program have to offer?
Well, to answer your question, I think for that one might best fit the Project Lead the Way engineering program. It's a newer program over the last 2 years, but it's a growing program that we have the first level principles of engineering. Introduction to engineering design. In that class, students are going to be just kind of learning the introduction to the design process, how to, like you said, efficiently design things, how to and go from brainstorming to a finished product to prototyping. And they'll do that through 3D printers, laser engraving and cutting and, group projects, things like that. And then once they get through that first level class, they get to then the principles of engineering class, which is, that's more math and physics based, and that has a lot of hands-on building. That includes some robotics, electricity. They cover fluid power and hydraulic power, simple machines. So just constant little projects that apply those fields of science and math and building to create a final product that kids will see in engineering. But there's other classes if you know that it maybe isn't their pathway. There's other classes for freshmen. One of the most popular classes that we have for industrial tech would be the Intro to Industrial Tech class, which gives you it's a semester-long course where they're going to get a little introduction to all the industrial tech classes that we have. So they do a little bit of small engine repair, learn how to service a small engine. And then if kids like that class, they may jump into, the full semester small engine repair class. We also have a welding class that covers MIG, TIG, and plasma cutting in different applications and fabrication of metals. We have several levels of woodworking. We have introduction to woodworking, which just gives you a kind of a hands-on experience of different machines that we have in our wood shop, and I feel like we have a very robust wood shop with all kinds of machines and hand tools that kids get to use. We then get into woodworking 2, that has a little bit more complicated projects, and they talk more about the different types of joints and get more into like furniture making and larger projects. And then we also have a introduction to building construction class, where we've done anything from shed building to soccer dugouts to press boxes, all kinds of different projects from semester to semester. I think that kind of gives you a good little overview of some of the different classes that we have in the industrial tech area, Mr. Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Rourke. Appreciate all that. Hey, Dr. Swimke and Ms. Solomon, jumping in on you with you guys, after hearing all these wonderful class electives, how exciting is it to be able to showcase these opportunities to students and families when they're asking you, what is there to do at MCHS? How exciting is that for you? Ms. Solomon.
You want me to go first? All right. No, I think it's very exciting. I can remember, being in high school myself, and those were some of the most exciting classes. As you guys were all explaining those, it brought me back to my high school years and taking those classes and how fun they were. So I appreciate you guys taking the time and explaining in detail some of those classes. I encourage all students out there, take a chance. If something looks interesting to you, take a chance on it, because you're going to find something very, interesting in that class, and you'll probably enjoy it. So, and, at the slight chance that you might not, we have so many electives, and there's bound to be something out there within this department that you will enjoy. So I just encourage them to, review some more classes and find one that interests them.
Dr. Swimke.
As a freshman, I don't know if I could explain or understand the difference between a corsage and a croissant. And then between, Kristen and Ellie, it would have helped me a lot. And taking it off a weird homecoming date issue where I brought the wrong thing. But, at the end of the day, we have this high school experience, this community college experience, this vocational experience, this trade school experience, all under 2 roofs on our campus, and we're extremely fortunate. So yeah, much like Jamie Solomon said, it allows our kids to explore, and it takes the opportunity for us to learn what we might be learning in our core content areas, and then apply it in our elective areas. And that's really the way that learning should be anyway. It's we separate a lot of these classes for bell schedule reasons and for content purposes, but learning is always interdependent upon those skills. So these classes are shining examples. So all of them are incredible for our kids to take.
Nice. I might add one thing as well, like Mr. Swimke with the corsage or the croissant. In my high school career, I saw an elective of small engines, and I go, great, I'm going to work on Hondas and Toyotas. Well, it was lawnmower engines. So, but
you know what I've learned about corsages, Brent?
What's that?
Baby's breath. As
Ah.
long as you get a little bit of the, am I wrong, Kristen?
Drosophila, if I can pronounce it right.
Yeah. Again, these are educational Facebook Lives, but thank you.
They didn't have any baby's breath with small engines, but otherwise. So just on our way out here, Mr. Calder, let me get you back here. Is there any last minute things that you'd like to say on the way out that you'd like to add or say to the families that are listening out there today?
Just kind of echoing what Dr. Zrupke had said. You have, I think it is not often understood because you don't always have the ability to compare school to school, but MCHS has such an amazing number of resources behind it in this program, and it vastly dwarfs so many other CTE programs in the area. So as we've kind of learned over the last 5 years, the need for all of these professions that we cover is at an all-time high. Parents, families, obviously, we talk about college and student debt, and so many of these jobs don't have any of that tied to it. Those opportunities are created. So I'd encourage any kid who's curious, ask, come in and talk to a guidance counselor, talk to any one of the teachers that you see here, come find myself. There's really a wonderful opportunity to take advantage of while you're here at school.
Great. Well, we're closing in on here about 25 minutes, and I like to keep everybody within that 30-minute time frame. So once again, I'd like to say that thank you to all of our guests once again for providing some of that wonderful insight and some of the answers to a few of the questions. Just a little promotional item from next week. Please join us again next Wednesday, March 3rd at 2 o'clock as we discuss class electives for world language, music, and the art program. But until then, everyone, I'm your host, Brent Edwards, and we'll see you again real soon. Thank you so much.